I'm feeling honored and welcoming in introducing our next guest of the event, Mr. Amish Tripathi from London. He's a diplomat, author, and a columnist. He's a director of the Nehru Centre in London since 2019. Amish Ji has been listed among the 50 most powerful Indians by India Today magazine in 2019. Forbes India has regularly ranked him among the top 100 most influential celebrities in India. In 2014, he was selected as an Eisenhower Fellow, a prestigious American program for outstanding leaders from all around the world. He published his book in 2010 and has written 7 books till date. His books have sold 50 million copies and have been translated into 10 Indian and 9 international languages. Amish Ji is an alumnus of prestigious Institute of Management, IIM Calcutta. He worked for 14 years in the financial services industry before turning to writer. So please put your hands together to welcome Mr. Amish Tripathi from London.
Namaste everyone, and my greetings on the wonderful occasion of the Yoga Day. The topic that's been given to me is there more to yoga than stretching? Now, this would be something very obvious to us Indians, especially those of us who have grown up in India. But right now, I'm living in the West. I'm living in London. There is a role that I was asked to do by the government of India. I am the Minister of Culture at the Indian High Commission here and Director of the Nehru Centre. And on interacting with many Westerners, I realize that the understanding of yoga is not whole and complete out here. And because many youngsters in India get impacted by what happens in the West, it kind of comes back to youngsters as well. Let me explain what I mean. One thing that's very obvious is yoga is known to everyone out here, almost everyone. There are very few who don't know. They may practice or not practice, but they know yoga. And especially after the present government took up the initiative, and the United Nations supported and guided that of creating June 21st as the Yoga Day, then the knowledge of it has become even more widespread. But the understanding of yoga in today's day in the West is still limited to stretching and trying to get the quote unquote yoga body. That's a limit of for most people, for many people, that is the limit of the understanding, which is why you have nonsensical things like beer yoga. I mean, what is beer yoga, for crying out loud? Or various bizarre combinations. And then the true benefits of yoga are not understood. The Sanskrit root, the dhatu of the word yoga, is actually yoga, the search for unity, the principle of unity. That is what yoga is supposed to do, to help us find unity with the divine. That is the purpose. Hatha yoga, which is our first step, which is to get the body itself healthy, is only the first step. It is not the end. Because one thing which our ancestors told us very clearly, that if your body is not healthy, how can you move towards the next step? That raising your intellectual levels, raising your spiritual levels. You can't do all that because you will be stuck at the sthula level, at the level of your gross body, if your body itself is not healthy. So the Hatha yoga practices are of course important to make the body healthy. But that should not be the end of the journey. There has to be subsequent steps in which there are the philosophies of yoga to help yourself rise spiritually and get yourself to be one with the divine. Raise your intellectual levels. There are many more things that need to be done. But even if one looks at only just at a bodily level, it is not just about stretches. The concept of yoga also included pranayam and also dhyan, meditation. In this time of this COVID pandemic, which is at its core essentially a respiratory disease, which new research is pointing out that might in fact impact the cardiovascular and the digestive systems as well. Then it's not just yoga, but even pranayam, which actually helps. You strengthen your respiratory system. And that combined with yoga and with meditation and with dhyan strengthens your immune system as well. We all know that excess levels of stress is one of the silent killers of the modern era. And yoga, pranayam, meditation helps calm stress down, improve immunity levels, and makes your body healthy enough to manage whatever there is to manage in this world, like the pandemic that we are all grappling with right now. So therefore, what occurs to me and what one should, all of us who are a little more aware of yoga, who have had the benefit of being born in India, must speak of this to others, that yoga is not just about stretching exercises. It's not just about getting the yoga body and supple joints. It is also about pranayam. It is also about meditation, so that you can make your body and your mind in consonance. But even more beyond that, rise spiritually. One of the benefits of yoga is it's not something that demands faith. It's like science. So yes, of course, the roots of yoga are in dharmic philosophies, are in Hinduism, Buddhism, Jainism, but it does not mean that you have to convert to this to practice yoga. No, you can continue following your own religion, or indeed be even atheist if you choose to. But yoga helps you align the mind, body, spirit, helps you rise intellectually and spiritually, which is beneficial to everyone. There are, of course, spiritual or intellectual or indeed societal improvements that could have roots in various different communities or religious groups. So, for example, the concept of ambulances, Red Cross comes from Christianity. The concept came from there. That doesn't mean that if you're not a Christian, you will not get into an ambulance. That makes no sense. It arose from Christianity, but is good for everyone. So therefore, there are benefits to be learned from every different way of life. And sum and substance, that's a thought that one wants to leave with you. That yoga, it's wonderful that it is much better known across the world than it was, say, 15-20 years ago. We must give credit to many Westerners who discovered it and popularized it within their own countries as well. But yoga should not remain restricted just to quote unquote stretching exercises. There is much more to yoga, even at a physical level, with pranayam and with dhyan, which will help you align your mind, body, spirit. And once you have done that and armed your body with better health, then try and explore the spirituality and the intellectual growth that can come by exploring the philosophies of yoga. It is good for everyone, regardless of the community, nationality, religion you follow. Thank you so much for giving me this opportunity to speak with you. And with these words, I will leave you to the rest of the seminar, which I'm sure will be hugely beneficial to everyone. Thank you.
On behalf of Team United Consciousness, I thank Mr. Amish Tripathi from London for sharing his views. Thank you so much.